What's up, everybody? It's your boy Philip Turner here, and today what we're going to be shooting into is the truth behind your anxiety symptoms. Now, it doesn't matter if you've been dealing with general anxiety or social anxiety. These symptoms tend to remain pretty universal because anxiety is just a future-based fear of something turning out in a way that you don't want. So your body has to get ready and prepare for that impending danger, and that preparation is the symptoms of your anxiety. A couple of videos ago, I talked about the main 7 reasons, the main 7 methods of anxiety treatment that you might be using and why those weren't actually working. And some of the main reasons why those anxiety treatment methods don't work is because they're targeting these symptoms of anxiety, their symptom management, rather than getting to the root cause of the anxiety in the first place. So if you want to learn how to get to the root cause and actually release that so then you don't have to deal with these symptoms at all, then I'm here to show you that, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But for now, let's go ahead and get into these symptoms. So heart palpitations is one of the big ones right off the bat. So when you're experiencing anxiety, your unconscious mind has determined that your future has danger in it. So if like a beast was to approach you, like some tiger, saber-toothed tiger, or a lion or a bear, oh my, whatever, if one of those beasts were to approach you, then your body starts to feel like it's going to be in danger. It does this on a primal level, and you can't actually disconnect anxiety like that because that is a necessary and warranted anxiety. You're supposed to feel anxiety in a situation like that. But when you just kind of go up and talk to a girl that you like, or you're trying to network, or you're trying to just start a business or ask your boss for a raise, that is unnecessary or unwarranted anxiety. So in a situation like a beast approaching you, your body has to prepare for survival. That is a survival mechanism. The heart palpitations, the sweating is your body getting ready to deal with this danger. Your heart has to start racing because it needs to start pumping blood and pumping oxygen through your body. So you have the best chance at survival. You can either try to fight the beast off or try to divert all the energy to running away. Now, sweating is another symptom that's really common. You sweat because your body wants to cool off. It's going to need to cool off to deal with the situation, so it starts to sweat naturally. The dry mouth is actually really interesting. So when you're actually in a situation like that, it's not the time to be eating a meal. So it's not a necessary function of the body. The unconscious mind determines you salivating when you see a really, really good, delicious meal, or when you're about to eat a lemon, because you know what it's going to taste like. So your mouth actually just starts to salivate because of the juices and the sourness. That's not something that you consciously control. That's your unconscious mind doing it. And so it's not the time to actually be eating a meal. Just talking about the lemon, my mouth's actually starting to salivate now. So it's not the time to actually eat a meal when you're faced with this danger. And so your body will divert those resources to something else, like racing your heart. The digestive issues is really interesting also because when you're experiencing the anxiety, it takes a lot of energy to digest food. It takes a lot of energy to metabolize food. And so when you actually need that energy for just running your muscles, then people who live in a constant state of anxiety tend to have digestive and gut issues because your gut isn't actually functioning the way that it's intended to. So I actually had to experience this myself for a really long time. I actually had a lot of gut issues. So it didn't matter what I ate. It's kind of vulnerable and kind of gross, but it didn't really matter what I ate for the longest time. I could try all these different diets and stuff, but I would just always have really nasty poop. So, it's like wiping a marker. And I just had to deal with that for years and years. And it was disgusting. But when I actually went through an 8-hour breakthrough session and used mental and emotional release to release my fear and release anxiety from the root cause, a lot of that just went away. It just went away naturally because there wasn't a reason to do this. My unconscious mind didn't have a reason to not metabolize my food or to not properly digest my food. I released it from the root cause. So the shortness of breath, the tension in your muscles, all the rest of these anxiety symptoms, there's a reason for you experiencing them. It's because your unconscious mind is essentially trying to divert all the resources, all the energy to give you the best chance of survival. It's not time to take a nap when you are physically in danger. So if you're having a hard time sleeping because of your anxiety, it's because your unconscious mind is perceiving a danger in the future all the time. And so the general anxiety that you're feeling is like, well, I don't have anxiety about a specific event. I don't really feel like I'm necessarily in danger. I just have general anxiety about nothing at all. That is a sign that you have a lot of negative events in your future turning out in a way that you don't want. General anxiety, just experiencing it for no reason at all, isn't necessarily for no reason. It's because your body is just used to being in fear, and that habit is just constantly running day to day. And that's why you feel so fucking exhausted all the time. It's because you're constantly in a state of fear. You're constantly pumping cortisol, and it doesn't matter how fucking tired you get, you still can't sleep because your body is in a state of survival. So what do you do about your anxiety that you don't have to actually deal with all these symptoms in the first place? How do you actually let this go from the root cause? The best, most effective, fastest, longest lasting way that I found to let go of anxiety and have it not come back was mental and emotional release. MER is a clinically researched process that uses the faculties of your unconscious mind that already exist. Things like your internal timeline. This is how you understand that something was in your past versus anticipating something in your future. So we all have this unconscious process called the timeline, and it uses these faculties of your unconscious mind to tap into that timeline and release the negative emotion from the root cause. So you have anxiety, the negative event in the future turning out in a way that you don't want. Okay, so you're anticipating that, your body's creating these symptoms to help you deal with it. Well, if you were able to get in touch with your timeline and then go past that event, and you were to turn around and watch that event turning out in the best, most positive possible way, then your body couldn't actually create the anxiety in the first place, because it would actually reframe your timeline to the point where the unconscious mind actually can't hold on to the negative emotion. So I show you exactly how to do this in the Stop Being Good at Anxiety free course. You can actually click the link in my bio right now and get access to that free course. And I can show you all the nuances of this, all the reasons that your body creates the anxiety, how your timeline's constructed, a way to get in touch with your timeline. And I actually give you a full audio recording of the release process that I actually take clients through one-on-one. So that way you can actually experience the release of the anxiety for yourself. So definitely be sure to click the link in the bio and get into that course. Totally free. You can do that today. And like in less than an hour, you wouldn't have to be dealing with any of this shit. So MER was the best, most effective way that I've ever found to actually let go of anxiety, because it gets at the root cause. It's not just managing the symptoms, and it's totally natural. It doesn't take any drugs. It doesn't take any medication, and you're actually doing it on the unconscious level, which is the level of your body and your mind that is creating the anxiety in the first place. So then when you actually let go of the anxiety that way, you just tend to be a lot more natural. You tend to be a lot more free-flowing, and things just become so much easier. And so that's the truth behind your anxiety symptoms, you guys. It's actually really simple and really straightforward. Anxiety is a really simple and weak negative emotion to let go of. We're just all making it too hard. And I don't understand why we have to make everything about managing your anxiety symptoms and coping and dancing around, building your life around having this baggage, when we could just let the baggage go from the root cause and live in a way that's empowered and meaningful to us. So if that's something you want to experience for yourself, definitely be sure to get into that free course and click the link in my bio, hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next video.